Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we will be reviewing the Qualifier 1 between Mumbai and Delhi. A lot of these games lately have been one-sided games and today was no different. Mumbai absolutely dominant. Delhi has just completely lost steam. It's just unacceptable the way they've been performing lately over the past 4 out of 5 games they've lost in the recent 5 games. So it's quite something. I mean, it's just I don't know what happened. The wheels just came off. This Ricky Ponting side is just not looking the same. Of course, we have Musti and me who will usually be doing the regular analysis. Musti, what is going on with this Delhi side, man?
I was tipping this actually to be such a close game because I felt if they played to potential, they can give Mumbai a run for their money because they have the bowling, they
Mm.
have batting, but it's just not working, especially when it comes especially against Mumbai. I think this is the third game they lost against them this season, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken. So, I mean, unbelievable. This Mumbai team, man, just so strong. They've been by far the best team in the tournament. They've reached the finals another time. No matter what happens in the finals, they've played amazing, man. Like, you know what? If one doesn't hit you, the other one will. Like, that's how it is. And I think credit to the strategy today. It was a qualifier. They went attacking from ball one, but then there was a moment where Delhi pulled things back. I think they were
yeah,
100 for four,
yeah,
4 wickets gone. But then Ishan Kishan and Pandya started hitting again. It
yeah.
wasn't like building; they just started hitting again. So that's a big risk. Like, to be honest, in a qualifier. But this is how you win championships. This is how you win big games. Like, you
Yeah.
take risks. And credit. Like, I was looking at it closely. Now it looks like, wow, dominant performance and everything. But at that stage, they could have been restricted to 160, and it could have been game on.
Absolutely.
But I think credit to the coaching staff, credit to Hardik Pandya, Ishan Kishan. They just kept hitting, and the way they hit those shots, effortless, man. Just hit it on the offside, on the leg side, wherever the ball is smashing it to all parts. So credit to Mumbai, but yeah, Delhi will be very disappointed. Somehow their batsmen struggle when the ball moves a bit. We were discussing this off air as well. There's some issue there, today, like, there's 0 for 3, no one worked. Like Dhawan as well, like he's supposed to be in good form, but he also couldn't pull anything off today. And then their bowling leaked a lot of runs. What can you do, like, though, like when they're hitting like that? It's a bit difficult. I think Shreyas Iyer captained well until the 15th over. After that, it's not really in his hands. But I think the batting let them down because there was due there. They could have taken the game close. You saw what Stoinis did, right? So if someone stepped up with Stoinis, they would have taken the game really close, I feel. And I think their batting let them down today.
I think I agree 100%. I think it was the batting's fault. I mean, when someone like Hardik Pandya comes in and scores like 30 of 10 balls like that, it's just very hard to curtail that because some good balls went out of the park. You know, it wasn't like he was there was bad bowling. Because this is a good quality side. He hit Rabada, he hit Naughty, he hit Daniel Sams. He's hit these guys who've been incredible all season. You know, so I mean, when Hardik is that kind of form, no one can really come close. And Ishan Kishan has been having a very fantastic season, so he continued that form. But it is the Delhi batting, right? It's just unfortunate. I mean, yes, Ajinkya Rahane and Dhawan got very good balls, but you have to mediate those balls. You take 3 overs to settle down. And you had the game for the taking because you saw even Akshar Patel in the end was able to come out and hit some out of the park, you know. So someone like a Shreyas Iyer, a Pant, a Dhawan, Ajinkya Rahane, Priti Shaw, all these guys failed. So it's just unacceptable. I mean, especially Punt. I was very upset after getting there. He scored like 1 of 8 balls or something, and then he had like 10-15 balls. He got a look in, and then he just hit a shot that was, I don't know, man. I'm
Yeah,
very
even then
upset
they
with
could
the
have taken it
performance.
deep if he stayed, even despite losing all those wickets. If he stayed with Stoinis, I think he could have taken it deep. And it's worrying signs for him because somebody look at the other team, Ishan Kishan. He's a competitor for him for the Indian team in the limited overs. And
Yeah.
from this IPL, Kishan has had a much better IPL, and he showed like he's played on the big stage as well today. So I think for Punt it is worrying signs. He needs to step up in the second qualifier. I even mentioned it before. He was the player to watch out, Punt, for me, but
Yeah.
just not stepping up.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just one of those seasons for him where he's just nothing has really clicked for him. He got injured also in the middle. He hasn't looked the same at all this season. He's just been very poor. And the Delhi batting, which was resounding in the beginning, they were very good, has suddenly started to look a little bit lackluster. They look a little wary. Priti Shaw has just not gotten similar to Punt. He's just had a very poor season. Dhawan's had some very good scores, but some zeros as well along with it. Ajinkya Rahane had a good game last game, but he's also susceptible to that ball that comes in us every now and again. At least in the beginning of his batting innings, and that's exactly what happened. And Shreyas Iyer, who started off and was hitting the ball all over the place around in Sharjah when the pitches were nice, is starting to. I mean, I think it was a little unfortunate because he really middled that ball, and Rohit Sharma got a very good catch. But
Yeah.
I think he still, I mean, getting out is getting out, kind of, you know. So it's just that batting is really not clicking. Stoinis showed some strength, but not enough, of course, and he was alone by himself. But yeah,
Do you
man, I
think it's
think.
a matter of being there and done that from Mumbai side? Like, because if you look at these teams on paper, it's very close. Like like even if they won, Mumbai shouldn't have been this big of a margin, especially in a qualifier. I felt maybe it's just the experience in these situations. Like, yes, Delhi have experienced players as well, but these kind of situations with this team, they've done it. They know exactly what is Mumbai know exactly what is expected of them, and yes, they took risks, but it paid off. But it was like more of like I think they knew that like even if they lost this game, they have another chance. So they just went all out attack. So maybe it's that experience of playing so many qualifiers in the past.
Possibly, but I think what it is for me personally, I think that momentum. I think the momentum with which Mumbai has really played this whole tournament has been for the taking for them, and they've been absolutely incredible this tournament and in the past as well. Even the previous seasons, they've usually gone on and started like once they get on that kind of winning zone, they really never really get out of it. And you saw like they lost the last game, but they came out all guns blazing this season as well. And not only Mumbai, you just see a side like Punjab, right? When they were losing momentum, they kept losing everything together. Suddenly they turn it around and they start winning everything together. Even Hyderabad, they needed to win 3 out of 3. They suddenly have that kind of momentum going for
Mm.
them. So like the likes of Delhi is tapered off. That momentum and losing momentum is continuing. Bangalore will be a little bit worried as well because that kind of a losing momentum is continuing for them. So I think it's just that momentum with the way like you feel a lot more good about yourself when you're winning a few games and then you come out, and then when you're losing a couple together, I think that it kind of brings in that those doubts, and that's exactly what it looks like Delhi is been facing. So it's going to be interesting for them to come out of that one when they have to play the winner of tomorrow. So they really need to pull their socks up because it's not going to be easy because it's going to be coming up against two other quality sides as well. So they're going to have to win that and then go back in Mumbai and then just show them that they have what it takes to actually go on and win that tournament as well.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that's kind of how it is. But yeah, I think in terms of Bombay, man, I mean, Bumrah and Bolt come back and they just, 0 for 3, 20 for 4. I mean, it's over after. It's pretty much over after that. It's very hard for any team to come back from there. And we saw that even today it was impossible. But Jasprit Bumrah, absolutely magnificent bowling again. Trent Bolt, I mean, he gives you wickets every single game in the power play almost. Uh, uh, I think never missed in this season. He's always he's there and thereabouts. I think he's got about 18, 20 wickets. Bumrah now has the purple cap, takes it away from Rabada, who's been a little bit poor past couple of games. And then the batting when when someone like a Pollard and Rohit Sharma, who've been their mainstays, kind of underperformed. The likes of Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, and Hardik Pandya just come up and I mean, what? How are you going to beat this team? Just look at that team. It's just so hard. I mean, one of these guys. I mean, you have Bolt who is not able to come back because of groin strain, and you can have Pollard bowl you 4 overs and finish the game off. It doesn't even matter. It's quite
Yeah,
crazy. I mean, it's
yeah.
unbelievable what this team is bringing
You
out
have
every
to
day.
play the perfect game to beat them. It's otherwise it's like almost like it's really difficult.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. I can't believe that it's come out to
Yeah,
this.
because one batsman comes, the other guy goes like, and 100 for 4 in that stage. I'm telling you, other teams would have struggled. Like because you're losing momentum at that stage.
Yeah,
But they didn't look to single double and take it to 160, 170. They took it straight to 200.
yeah, yeah.
They hit 75 of the last 78 of the last 5 overs.
5. Yeah,
That's incredible. I think like from that stage to take it like it's not like they were 100 for 0 and they took it like
yeah.
that. They took it from a kind of even stage. So yeah, man, just if one guy doesn't get you, the other guy will. That's how it is in this team. And like you said, the bowling as well. I think Trent Bolt is exploiting that hint of swing initially, and he's just getting wickets. And Bumrah is exceptional. I think the way he's varied his line lengths, he keeps changing it up, right? Like even the pace he changes it. Then he bowls you a short ball, then he bowls you a slower one, then he bowls you a fast Yorker. The ball he bowled to Dhawan was just like
Yeah, I mean,
unplayable,
no,
man.
it was an unplayable ball. I mean, I wouldn't fault Dhawan for getting out on that one. I mean, it was just perfect,
Yeah,
and
he set him up beautifully.
yeah, I set him up beautifully, and that's kind of what you get from Bumrah. He's not only he's a very he has a lot of talent, but he uses his brain very well as well. Like
Yeah,
he's a very smart cricketer,
yeah,
and that helps him in his bowling as well. Like he realizes that okay, this guy, the batsman's trying to do something, and he can kind of counter that very well, and that's why he's amongst the wickets all the time. I mean,
yeah.
He's always that economical wicket-taking bowler for them.
Yeah, and it's actually great because he went to a tough period before the IPL. Like for India, he came from injury
Yeah,
and he was getting hit a bit in the New Zealand tour as well. He
right.
wasn't at his best, but this is what great bowlers do, and he showed that he's a great bowler. Like I was a bit scared; I wasn't sure how he's going to perform in this IPL, but he's shown that he is a great bowler and he has that mentality to fight back, and he's there, amongst the best bowlers in the world.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just very heartwarming as an Indian fan to see this kind of performance by him day in day out.
Mm.
It's been absolutely incredible. I think the only downside for Bombay will be the injury to Trent Bolt. They're saying it's a groin strain, so
Oh,
it could be a couple of weeks out, which would
yeah.
be quite a big miss for them because he's been
That
very
could
very
be an
good.
issue going into the
So
final, yeah. But
they don't know yet, though. They don't know yet.
but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are saying, why did they rest and everything? Like, yes, I understand if you're a KKR fan, you don't want you wanted Mumbai to win that game. But in general, I think that decision to rest those players, Hardik Pandya 2 games and then Bumrah and Bolton, I think that was an amazing decision from the management.
Absolutely, yeah,
Brilliant decision because this is what can happen. Look, now you had to play him. Like he got injured. That's
yeah,
unfortunate. But
yeah.
that's what that game they had nothing to lose. So I
Exactly.
think their management did a really good job and credit to them. Yes, they didn't perform to expectations that game and everything, but I think to have that's called workload management, and
Yeah, yeah,
you need that
absolutely.
in this kind of tournament, especially when the games are coming thick and fast.
Absolutely. I mean, there was no reason for them to play their full team at all. These guys, fast bowlers, are prone to getting injured, and you have to be careful with them. And they did
Yeah.
an excellent job. It
Yeah,
was
look,
not needed
Pandya
for
sat
them.
out 2 games and he just came out all guns blazing. They need those kind of players who are
Absolutely,
they are
absolutely.
injury prone because even Hardik Pandya is like he puts a lot of pressure on bull because he bowls and bats, so he puts a lot of pressure on his body. So even he needs that rest. And you saw when he's fresh today, you saw what he can do.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, he is probably the most cleanest hitter of the ball I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've seen a fair few, but this guy, when he hits it, man, it's just so sumptuous. It's just
Mm,
beautiful to see. But
yeah.
yeah, I think that's the only thing. And Delhi just need to pull up their socks as a unit. I mean, they just need to get their game back together. I mean, the kind of game that we saw in the first few 5-6 games of the season, they need to bring that back. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's going to be a hard one for them even on Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, player of the match.
Bumrah, even though I really, really enjoyed Hardik Pandya's batting, I think, and even Ishan Kishan, I think they batted really well. It was a lot of entertainment. But
But
I,
Bumrah cleaned it out for them. I mean, he gave
yeah,
gave them no scare at all. Like it was just like those few wickets in the beginning, along with Bolt, just made it
yeah, I
easy.
think the game was set up by the batsman and then Bolt, but Bumrah still had a job to do because there was a lot of dew as well, right, around.
Right.
So I felt that was like an unbelievable performance by him. You have to give it like when someone takes 4 wickets like that,
Yeah.
for me it's a bit difficult. Even though I really, really enjoyed their batting as well.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, man. But yeah, I think that wraps up today's game. Moving on to the eliminator tomorrow, Sunrisers Hyderabad versus RCB. Sunrisers with some momentum, RCB with a few losses together. So two different mindsets coming into this game per se. But Bangalore partied hard, I believe, a couple of days back. They're ready. Virat Kohli's birthday and everything, so they're ready. The kind of rest that they needed. They're ready for all of that. Now Virat Kohli's birthday celebrated. They've had fun. Now they need to come out there and get the win going. I mean, that four losses in a row is really not a good sign. I mean, and tomorrow is a do or die. Whoever's out. I mean, whoever loses is out completely. There's no way back. And Mumbai and Delhi, Sunrise on the other side win 3 out of 3, which they like to do when
Yeah.
they are in a pressure situation. They like to come out on top. And that kind of momentum going in, and their players performing exceedingly well with the limitations that they've had with the injuries and everything. So a fun game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really close game because it can go either way, swing either way. I think you should just enjoy the game. I feel that, two really entertaining sides. They both have flaws in the team.
Right.
They both can lose on their day. They can both win on their day. But I think it makes up for like a very interesting and exciting encounter. I think it's going to be a good contest. I think Bangalore, if you look at it from their perspective, they'll be really hungry. They've made the playoffs after a long time, and the likes of Kohli and EB will really, really want to win this game and make it to the finals and win this tournament. So I think they'll be really hungry. The only thing is that the Sunrisers team has experience in these kind of situations, and they play some high risk cricket as well. And
Yeah.
if Bangalore are a bit cagey in their approach, they'll I think Sunrisers will grab them with both hands. But at the same time, that's the thing. I feel that Kohli and AB need to play aggressively, and the rest of the team as well. I think even Morris needs to go for the wickets, and they just need to play aggressively. They shouldn't have a cautious approach. Even even though yes, they really want to make it and they want to ensure a victory, I think they should go really aggressive, and because Sunrisers will do that either way. If it's a hit or miss,
Yeah.
that Warner and his boys are going to attack. It might not work for Sunrisers tomorrow, but if you're an RCB fan, you would want them to, you don't want anything cautious. You need to go for it from ball one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 100%. I think the aggressive approach. I think whoever's more aggressive, even you saw today with Mumbai, then when they were in a spot of bother, they just came out all guns blazing, complete aggressive approach, and that's exactly how you're going to win tournaments like this, where it's where very hard fought. Um, yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Just it's just the momentum. I mean, they will be cautious because they've lost, come out of after a few losses, and that's kind of always plays with your mind in a negative way. But yeah, we'll have to see. For the
Yep.
sake of the tournament, we'd love this to be a one-sided. Love this to be a really close game because we've seen a few one-sided games. But for the sake of a Sunrisers fan, I wouldn't mind like this getting over in 10 overs for all I care about. With
uh,
the Sunrisers win. But I think that it's going to be a very tight challenge. It's not going to be as simple as some.
yeah, yeah, it's going to
I
be
don't
an.
think it's going to be as it
It,
was today. I think it'll be a lot more tighter.
it should
And
be. Yeah.
I think the on the day, I think some kind of extraordinary skill which both teams do possess.
Mm.
Someone with a little bit of a heavier hand will come out on top, I think, and it's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, like for you, as I know you're a loyal Sunrise fan, I would just give you advice: just enjoy it because they've made the playoffs again 5 years in a row with the injuries. It's been like a really difficult road to the playoffs. They made it to the playoffs. Just enjoy it. I think just whatever happens, the result, it's fine. Like they've tried their best. Of course, so win will be amazing. But considering everything what's going on this season, I think you should just enjoy it because
But
I think
me, man, I'm going to
yeah.
start sweating from tonight. I'm going to not be able to sleep tonight. It's going to be very
Yeah,
annoying.
I know. That's why I'm giving you that advice. But yeah, I
Uh,
think it's going to be an exciting encounter. And like you said, momentum is a thing, and that's the thing. Look, Sunrisers when they were losing, they had a cautious approach. But now I think with Jason Holders coming into the team and Williamson back in the team, Warner now knows that he has a bit of batting, and he's going all out, right? So
yeah,
it's a risk. It might not pay off tomorrow. It might not work, but it's
yeah,
a risk worth taking because he knows that if he goes like that with Saha at the top, they can take the game away. So like it's a risk
100%.
worth, and they should play like that. Like that's how what's got them success in the last 3 games. Go for it. If you lose, you lose. You put in your effort. You know what I mean.
Absolutely, I agree
And
100%.
that's
I
what
think there's
the
no doubt
same
about
advice
it.
I would give RCB because I know I've seen in the last few games they have a tendency to go a bit cautious in their
Yeah,
approach.
yeah, and it's going to be fun to see how the teams approach this because both coming out of very different kind of mindsets, like I said before. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play
Yeah,
about it. But it's going to be a fun game nonetheless.
definitely.
Um,
Yeah.
Players to watch out for?
From Bangalore, it has to be AB de Villiers for me. I think this guy is a dangerous player.
Yeah,
He has a good record against Sunrisers. I think if he gets going, it's very difficult to stop him, and this is the time he'll want to shine. So yeah,
yeah,
AB de Villiers for sure. And then if you're looking at from Sunrisers' perspective, I think there's a lot. There's like I think Rashid Khan, like his spell to Kohli and AB, if he votes to them, will be really important. I think
crucial.
that
Yep.
it might be a game-changing spell, but at the same time, I'd go with Jason Holder because I feel he's got that balance into the side both with ball and bat, and he's if he can bowl well at the death like he has in a few games, I think that will make a huge difference for Sunrisers. So and with the bat as well, like if
Yeah.
can come in and hit like 30 of 12, 13 balls, it'll boost them. So I think I'm just going with Jason Holder.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. You picked one stalwart of RCB. I'm going to pick the other. I think that Virat Kohli will really enjoy these kind of situations. He's usually the kind of big game player.
Yeah, fair enough.
He thrives on these kind of occasions.
Hmm.
But having said that, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very very difficult against a solid Sunrisers side who's coming with a lot of momentum. But Virat, if anyone can change this game for you, it's either ABD or Virat. It's got to be one of them. I think.
Yeah,
Although some of the others have really performed for RCB as
yeah,
well,
of
but
course.
I think that when it matters the most, I think these two stalwarts need to really step it up, and if they can, then I think it's going to be hard for Sunrisers.
Yeah,
And for Sunrisers, I'm like you said, I'm going to go with Rashid Khan because I think he is the key. Uh, he's had compared to his very high standards, he had a couple of poor games. He's got 25 runs in one and 30 in the other, unacceptable by his standards. He's going to come in, he's going to come out all guns blazing, 4 overs, 10 runs, 3 wickets.
Wow. I think also he's trying to be a bit more, because I think he's realized that
Aggressive.
he's getting some support from his teammates
Yeah.
now. It's
Yeah.
not a one man thing. So I think he's trying to flight the ball a bit more and trying to get more wickets. So maybe
Yeah.
that's why he's getting hit a bit. But yes, like from his standards, it's like, it's expensive, but it's
It's
still
quite
harsh.
it's
Like,
it's still unbelievable that we are saying that 4 overs,
still
25
harsh.
runs, one
Yeah,
wicket,
it's
four
really
overs,
harsh.
30 runs, one wicket, and we're still calling it like a
Yeah,
poor,
it's
poor
very harsh, very
performance.
harsh. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if he can bowl like at his best, then it'll be
I'm telling
unbelievable.
you, man, 4 overs, 10 runs, 4 overs, 10 runs, 3 wickets. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
gonna happen tomorrow.
yeah. I think it'll
But
be a fun game for sure.
yeah, I think are you supporting Bangalore? I know you are.
No, man, no chance. I mean, tomorrow it's I will support Hyderabad. Like, I mean, both teams are fun to watch and everything. Like, I have nothing against any of the teams like playing tomorrow. But Sunrisers is that's where we're from, right? We're from Hyderabad, so we'll support our team and back them.
Oh man, the orange jersey is ready. It's hanging in the sun right now. I'm getting it
Yeah,
ready.
yeah. It's gonna be a crazy encounter. I just feel that it's gonna be nail biting at the end. I don't
Oh
know.
man, I just hope. I mean, it won't be good for my heart, but as long as we come out on top, I think it'll survive.
Yeah, and I think from Bangalore's perspective, just to think, I think watch out for Saini and Chahal. I think if they have good games, it'll help them because I don't know what's happened with Saini, but he hasn't played a few games as well
Yeah,
in between.
yeah,
So if they can have good games, give some support, I think that will help them. If they go for runs, then it'll cause some problems for RCB because the bowling they have a tendency to leak runs, right? So
right.
I think just watch out for them as well. I feel that they can have a say if they play well.
That's a
And
good point,
Sandy,
Tejas.
man, Sandy, remember whose number he has? Sandeep
Virat,
Sharma.
Sandy's bunny is Virat, so another one for.
What if you get two slips in a gully, man, when Virat walks in if Sandy is bowling?
If he's getting some swing, man, for sure,
Yeah,
bring it in. But Sandy doesn't have any kind of pace, so it's gonna be hard to
yeah,
get like the slips
yeah.
involved. But
I,
I don't know.
one,
We'll see.
one, one last thing, watch out for the reactions from both captains, both animated captains, both passionate captains.
Yeah.
Watch out for that. It'll be fun.
It's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be an exciting game. I'm already ready for it, especially after the podcast. I'm more pumped now. So let's go. It's gonna be fun. See you later.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Take care.